This is a HeadGum podcast.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like to check that your favorite friend actually likes celebrating their birthday before throwing a big surprise party for them.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Pretty little episode.
Welcome to the Handsome Pod's Pretty Little Episode. I'm Fortune.
You sure are. And you know what? I'm Tig Notaro.
Yes, you are, my friend.
Yes, my friend. Those are our names.
Friends, my friends.
My friends. These are our names.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm chilling here, and I just got back from visiting North Carolina. I went to my first NASCAR race.
How do you end up at a NASCAR race? That does sound fun.
I mean, I was curious. I'd never gone, and Bert Kreischer his wife sat on a plane beside me on the way home to visit, and she was like, they were doing a thing in Charlotte, and my family was going to be gone at that point, and I was like, why not? Let me just check that out.
That's awesome. And so would you go again? And what is it like? And tell us about the clientele.
I love people watching.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty exciting.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like a big festival kind of outside before it starts. I would go again, but I only stayed for like the first 100 laps. It's 400 laps.
That's a lot of laps.
It's a lot of laps.
Fortune, I'm with you. That's a lot of laps.
And I'm not invested enough to stay the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to go down on the track, and that was pretty cool for it having never gone. And so I met a couple drivers. They like hang out like on the track before the race and like shake people's hands and stuff, like a parade.
I thought you were going to say have beers and stuff.
that would be on brand. But I didn't know that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're down there chatting with the guys, and you're like, where they come into pit for the pit stops or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when the race is about to start, they're like, get out of here. It's time. But then I got to watch in the like area right behind the pit people. So I'm like on the track watching these freaking cars go a gazillion miles an hour.
Now, this happens at the same time that the Indy 500 happens, I guess, because the Indy 500 was on the other day, and Max and Finn were watching that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do those guys, I don't know enough about that. Did they compete in both the things? You spoke about it like you had some knowledge.
I have never seen the Indy 500 on my TV as an adult or a child. I was surprised that it was on our TV when I walked into the room.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't know what I thought it was. Indy 500. I don't know. Is it that they go around 500 times?
Oh, I don't know. Really? You mean more than 400?
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's so much zooming
around. And it is
around.
very loud. You cannot watch it without earplugs. I mean, I guess you could, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, don't do that, guys.
One of the drivers we met, his name was Bush, so I was a fan.
Fortune Marie.
I was immediately on board. Bush with a CH.
Okay.
That's the fancy spelling of it. But yeah, it was an adventure. I'm open to doing just whatever. Let's just have fun.
I know you are, girl.
Yeah.
I know you are. My window is closing in life where I'm open to whatever.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a little too into my get in bed by 9, have my routine, and
But you were
Yeah.
open for a while.
I was very open.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And I did a lot of things.
That's what I
went
thought.
a lot of places. And I always tell Stephanie, if there is some terrible tragedy or we lose me a little early, I don't want
No.
to. I don't want to go.
We don't want that either.
No, but I have done everything I've
That's
ever
good.
wanted to do, plus more, and no one feels sad. I mean, and that's kind of a good place to be, where it's like, I got Stephanie and my little cubs, and I got Handsome, and
Aw.
what else do I need?
I still want to. There's still some things I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's things that I'm happy to do and I'd like to do, but if they don't happen, no one should feel sorry for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've lived it up. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad to say it. And I've cheated death many times. And so this is all just bonus.
You're living the cherry on top right now.
I really am. I just want to be happy, safe, healthy,
Yeah.
all those things. And I look back on my life going, man, I'm glad I did that. And ooh, that was a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think when you cheat death a couple of times, you appreciate everything a bit more, don't you think?
yeah, it's cute that you think it was only a couple, but
How many? Eight times?
I don't know. Thomas has sat with me at my bedside.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been but whatever. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know I've taken risks. I've traveled all over. I've done all of those things. And,
I love that.
And yes, there are so many things that I could still do, or I think
And that you
sound
will
fun.
do.
And that I will do, or I
Yeah.
might not. But I don't have that feeling of, I haven't. I want.
Yeah,
I think
for
the
sure.
main thing is I want to see Max and Finn grow up.
Absolutely.
That's really what I want in
Yeah.
life.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to take care of myself, so I can see who grows a mustache and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be me.
It might be
Yeah.
all of us. We already know what you look like with one. Very handsome.
Yeah, well, thank you. I was waiting for you to say that.
Mhm.
I don't think I've seen you with a mustache. You haven't done the fake mustache thing, have you?
No, I felt like it would turn you guys on too much.
That's interesting.
But I
Oh.
will. Don't you worry.
You're going to sneak up and, I love one of those, like,
Handlebar.
yeah. But I'm always confused. I thought handlebar was like where you like twist the little ends.
That's what is that?
I see what I
I know what you mean,
You have to
but-
talk like this and
I don't know. I thought handlebar was this, but maybe not.
No, I think it is, because anytime I go with my fingers on my
Yeah.
face, people are like, oh, you like a handlebar.
But the twisty one, I don't know what that's called.
But doesn't it seem like it helps you think when you twist the mustache hair?
for sure.
And what is the voice you would put to thinking twisting?
Oh, I gotta solve this crime. It's a little bit of
Yes.
May's goofy voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not in life, but May does the nerdy voice.
sure.
Oh my god, I'm
I
doing
feel like
the thing.
Thomas is Googling mustache names. That's what he's doing, because he is.
Do you want some mustache information?
Any more stupid questions?
We must ask you a question about mustaches.
Yes.
Those are both handlebar mustache styles. The curly one is called an imperial mustache.
Oh.
And it seems like this one that goes down might be called a walrus
Oh, that makes cuckoo
or a
ka-choo.
horseshoe.
What is your kind of mustache called?
A T-dog.
A chevron.
A chevron.
Did you know that about your mustache, Thomas?
No, I'm just looking at a diagram of mustaches.
And do they have any menopause mustaches?
I'm not
Those are-
seeing that
Those
on
are
here.
patchier.
What kind of mustache would you have, Fortune?
I would do like a thinner, long one.
Wait, like a what's his name, Waters? Like,
Not that thin,
Oh,
but not a big thick one.
what is his name, Waters?
John Waters.
John Waters. Not
Yeah.
that.
No, that's too thin.
Okay.
Somewhere in between the chevron,
The chevron and the waters. Uh-huh. What is the waters stash called?
A pencil thin?
Yeah, pencil.
Okay.
How
is it?
We learned something new.
How is it that we have referenced Jimmy Buffett even
so
once,
many times.
and then twice, and then three times? I mean, did I tell you my old assistant hosts a Jimmy Buffett
I
radio
think
show?
Thomas told me that.
Yeah, on Jimmy Buffett's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Look at me name dropping. Should we get into our questions?
Let's do it, boo-boo.
Let's do it.
Hi, handsomes. This is Casey from North Carolina, and my question is inspired by Fortune as Dougie on the TV show Life in Pieces, and I'm wondering if you were a wrestler, what would your wrestler name be?
That's so funny. So there was this show on CBS called Life in Pieces, really great show with like Diane Wiest and James Brolin, and I had a recurring character on there who was an insane person, and I was a former wrestler, and my character's wrestling name was Tackle Box, which is actually a pretty great wrestling name.
That's really good.
So in the episode, they had me in a yellow wrestling outfit, and I drove up on a yellow moped, and it was wild. What would your wrestling name be?
I think mine would be what my brother used to call me as a kid. Or actually, my mother called me this. Tough Tig.
I thought you were about to say Tough Tits. But Tough Tig makes more sense.
Yeah, my tits weren't as tough.
They really let you down.
Yeah, not only did they get sickly, but they got cut off. Like there was no fighting back.
No, they were just out of there.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like to check that you've got a highlighter and some sticky notes handy when you reread your favorite book. It's always fun to mark up a book so you can go back and see what you wrote later.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Yeah, my mother called me Tough Tig.
Yeah.
Because I was a little rough and tumble, scrappy, Huckleberry Tig, and then my brother. Everybody called me that, so it seems like Tough Tig might.
That's a good one.
Yeah, TT.
Yeah, Tough Tig.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want to wrestle Tough Tig.
Tough Tig.
Oh my gosh!
Look at what Treading's doing.
Whoa!
You're on YouTube right now.
If you're not, head on over there. That's really good, Fortune.
Thank you.
When is the last time you had muscle definition to that scary degree? I don't know if I've
ever had any muscle definition, but yeah, just for those audio listeners, I just showed Tig
your guns,
muscle in my arm.
Are you enjoying having that?
I love it. Great. I'm trying not to be so out of shape.
You are looking sharp. Always look sharp, but I mean, these guns that you are flashing every other episode are, now you are a pretty little lady, aren't you? Yes, you are.
I like to be handsome and a pretty little lady.
Me too.
I like to swing back and forth.
I haven't seen Pretty Little Lady in any photos in a while.
Of me?
No, that's where it came from. Is that I don't know if you remember this, but when I would look at picture, every now and then there's a picture taken of me, and it's usually when I have makeup on.
That's right.
Where Pretty Little Lady appears.
That's right.
I said that to Stephanie once. I said, I feel like I look like a pretty little lady. And we had
or you have like little lipstick and stuff popping.
Yeah, something when I'm filming something, or I'm rarely in makeup, if that's surprising to hear.
Well, hopefully Pretty Little Lady Tig will pop out soon.
Don't you like me how I am?
I do.
Thanks.
If I had to come up with a Mine would have to involve the name Fortune. It would have to be like the Fortune Cookie or something like that, you know?
What about Tough Fortune?
Tough Fortune, Formidable Fortune.
Freaky Fortune.
Yeah. Miss Fortune. Miss Fortune, that would be good. Yeah. M-I-Z, just like there's another wrestler with an M-I-Z.
Ms. Fortune. I like it.
Okay. Well, our wrestling careers are right.
Let's hear what Casey's answer is.
My answer is I think I would use the name The Puzzler because we use a puzzle piece as the symbol for autism awareness. And I feel that as someone on the spectrum, my true gift may not be physical, but may be more in the realm of just confusing people and making them feel puzzled. So that is my wrestler name. And I can't wait to hear all of yours. Love the podcast. Thanks for doing it. Bye.
Nice.
Yes, the Puzzler. I can't believe we heard directly from the Puzzler.
That's right. A star in the making.
Yeah. The Puzzler versus Tough Tig. The Puzzler versus Misfortune. What do you think you could beat the Puzzler?
I don't know. The Puzzler sounds like they're using their brain, not just their physical fitness. So
yes.
I could be outsmarted by the Puzzler.
Yeah.
On to our next one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Fortune, May, and Tig. It's Abby in New Hampshire. My question for you is, what's a compliment that you receive that is not true at all?
That's not true at all. I didn't see that twist coming.
That is not true. I feel like, and I've talked about this, I know, before, but every now and then I get called nice. And I do think I'm nice, but I don't feel like I lead with it. So I don't know if this is the right answer because I do think I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
I'm just not like bubbly,
like sugary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of nice. I'm
you have a big heart though.
I do.
And you'll show up for people when they need you.
I feel,
but you're not like, hello, dear.
No,
that kind of thing.
No, and I always say people aren't going to describe me as like, oh my God, Tig is so nice.
Yeah,
but I am.
Yeah,
and I got called nice at a friend's house a few nights ago, and I was like, is that true? Am I nice? And they're like, well, I mean, you are, but, and then we got into that about everybody. Like, are you nice? Is it good to be nice? Is it
right?
I don't know. What is your feeling about nice?
I totally understand exactly what you're saying.
About what?
About the difference of like somebody that a person that's just like is that kind of like never met a stranger, very open, like, oh honey, that it's like, you know, you just, they're just so sugary sweet.
Yeah.
And then, but you lead in a different way. You're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's not the only version of nice.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many different versions of nice.
I see what you mean. I'm trying to think of a compliment. I mean, usually if someone's saying a compliment, I just take it to be sincere and I just go, thank you.
It is an interesting question. I mean, our listeners do send in very interesting questions.
Because here's the thing. I think that if someone were to say something like that to me, instead of me thinking that...
Wait, to say what?
If they were to compliment me on something.
Yeah. And
instead of... I don't think my brain would go, that's not true. I think I would think, maybe they see something I hadn't thought of, or maybe they see something I don't see in myself, and like, oh, that's cool, but I don't know that I'm going, that's false. Does that make sense?
Yes, which brings me to the thought of when you have a not great show, and I know that's happened for me where afterwards people are like, that was so funny. And I know that's not true.
Right.
I know the show did not go well.
I'm sure I
Yeah.
have like like every woman in the world. I have some like if someone tells me I'm pretty, I'm just like like I don't. That just doesn't really resonate with me. I don't think I'm ugly, but I'm not like yeah.
Well, you're an attractive person.
I think, but it's encompassing many different things than just like a physical thing.
Well, I mean, I would say most people.
Yeah.
There are some people where it's solely physical, but then it makes them not attractive
Right.
because it's only physical.
Yeah. I guess that probably doesn't resonate with me as much, maybe, than like someone telling me I'm funny. I'd be like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. So it's hard to take Pretty Little Lady.
Pretty Little Lady I can somehow take because it's silly. Yeah,
me
that's
too.
weird. Does Avi have an answer?
I bet so.
For me, I have been told that I'm unflappable, like calm in a crisis, which is great that that's what I'm projecting, but 100% not true. I am freaking out. All right, cool. Talk to you later.
That's a good one.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone put out that air of having it together in a crisis, but you're like, no, I'm the one running for cover.
Struggling.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you you feel unflappable?
I joke that I'm like not butch because I'm not like,
Samesies.
typical in that way, but I would think in a real jam I would step up and figure out the crisis.
Same, unless there's blood.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'll be unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll faint. I'm done.
I don't get squeamish about that.
Stephanie has to step up in those moments. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, I have to lie down. Oh God. Yeah.
I think too, like you don't really know how you'd be in a situation, if in a real mess. This is like, I had a show at a comedy club years ago, and I was in the green room, and people started flooding down the hall, and I was like, and they looked. I've never seen the look of fear on people's faces the way I saw when they came around the corner. And there was they thought an active shooter at the mall.
Oh God.
And you hear about this awful stuff and you don't know how it will be. And they were coming to basically like a dead end, and I'm like, you have to like go this way through the kitchen, like don't get in a dead end. And it was like eerily quiet. Everyone had like scattered and hidden, and I just remember like just kind of like walking around the corner trying to look, and like I was kind of surprised that I wasn't running away. I was just like trying to find where the trouble was. And I'm like, it ended up being like a knife thing in a movie theater, and someone yelled gun. So it ended up, thank God, being a non-thing. But the way it scared people was so jarring, and I'll never forget the look on people's faces. But I don't know if there was real trouble, you should run for sure. But I was kind of like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Going towards whatever might be there.
Well,
I'm
there
not
you
going to
have
know
it.
how to fix something around the house, but if you're in a pickle, I got you, boo.
Yeah, me too. Unless there's blood.
Unless there's blood and you're passing out.
I am not available. My friends, submit your questions to speakpipe.com/handsomepod. And share this show with your loved ones. Really, though, if you like an episode, help us build this handsome, pretty little lady and lady community.
That's right.
You got anything to promote?
Fubar is out on Netflix. Check that out. And if you want to come to Vegas, I'm there tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at the Palazzo. So come on out there in Lexington and Knoxville, Tennessee. I got a lot of fun shows.
June 21st, I'll be at Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles. August 17th, West Hampton Beach, New York. And August 23rd, P-Town, Massachusetts. So come on out, tignotaro.com. And until next time,
Keep it pretty handsome.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Like you know to check that you have your Sunday night free when the final episode of your favorite TV show is airing, so you're not spending all of Monday dodging spoilers.
Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
That was a HeadGum podcast.